Today marks 1215 days sharing lessons I've learned and continue to learn with all of you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your teams, help you achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about life strategy. I think that every single person needs to understand that they need to have some kind of strategy, and if you don't have a strategy, that means that this is your strategy. Live a life without a strategy. Do you think that is the best strategy? No. And I think that every single person is supposed to really sit down, reflect, and say, like, what kind of strategy do I live by? What are the rules for my life? Because I think that if you do not have rules, we're not able to win the game because only the rules and boundaries really could allow you to understand, are you winning or are you losing? Because if you do not define what is that, what you're looking for, it's very, very hard to really win the game. So strategy is very, very important because that strategy allows you to win the game. So today we'll share 10 things that you're able to think to really create that strategy that allows you to move forward to that vision that you have for yourself. Now you need to have that vision. You need to have that strategy. So today we'll share what you need to do. What kind of things you potentially could reflect on to really create a strategy that could allow you to move faster. So number one, I think that we need to understand that we need to understand and establish core life philosophy. Core life philosophy. And Jim Rohn used to speak about it a lot, and I truly believe that. Understand what is your philosophy, what are your beliefs, what are your values, what are your understanding of success, what is success means to you. Because when I think that when we really develop that, what is the definition of success? What are the beliefs of your life? What are the values, that non-negotiable values? Because I think that we understand that we have multiple values. We have maybe 30 values. But we say, okay, what are the three most non-negotiable values? Because it might be that sometimes you pursue one value, but you neglect other value. So when you understand the hierarchy and priorities of your values, you understand that, okay, let's focus on the values that truly truly matters. Because what we do a lot of times as people, we are majoring on minor things. So that means that we become excellent or great or succeeding or really achieving success in the values that are a lower end, but we're missing out on the most important values. So core philosophy is number one thing. Understanding, okay, where will where will start. Number two is identify your archetype or understand your role in the world. What is your roles? What are the number one role? Because there's could be a lot of different roles. Probably you have heard that you can be a manager, you can be a father, you can be a son, you can be a spiritual being, you can be a faith person, you can be a father, you can be a business owner, you can be a leader, you can be a mentor. There's roles. You can be a creator, you can be a leader. There's roles that you can live by. Because every single role could have different values, different aspects, the way how you lead and how you execute. Because imagine being the best father and the best business owner. It might be that the way how they operate will be different because, of course, if you want to be the best dad, your values will be different when you want to be a great business owner. Even though that there's intertwine some values intertwines the way how you act, but the way how you take actions, how to execute will be a little bit different because the things that you need, of course, when you're building a business, it might need more direction, more leadership. When you have a kid, of course, you sometimes need compassion, unconditional love. There's a lot of different things. So that means understanding what is your true role that you gravitate to. Because we need to understand when you have that role, the main role that you want to live by, that means that you need to become ambitious to be the best in that role. So if you want to be a best business owner, okay, how you will be the best in that. If you want to be the best dad, how you'll be the best dad. If you want to be the best husband, how you'll be that. I think that when we do not know what our role that is the most important, and then start developing other roles that is not as important, and that's again part of the strategy. Understand, okay, what is my role and what do I need to do to achieve the best result in that role? Because what kind of impact do I want to make with that role? Number three is master internal game before external game. That is such an important thing. I think that a lot of times we're really trying to build that external world, make more money, have more material things, have success. And it's very hard to have that external success when internally we are losing. You can have very temporary success externally, but sooner or later will go down in a balance with your internal world saying. How much you're winning internally. I truly believe that when you win internally. And that's again, that's when you think about people who are really successful, I think sometimes we are not able to really measure it right because so many people who win externally, but they're losing externally. So, and actually, I think that they're losing in life. People who are winning internally, but maybe they're not winning yet externally, I think that might be the winning because who is more joyful? Who is more, who has more meaning? Who has more purpose? Who are waking up with a joy and a smile on their face, with a bliss in their face? Who is that person? That is the person who is winning. I think a lot of times we say, okay, this person has $1 million in the bank, this person has $10,000 in the bank. So a person who has a million most likely is succeeding. Not necessarily. Now, if both of them are joyful and blissful, at that moment, if that is equal, of course, $1 million will be more because he's able to make an impact, he's able to make better choices because he's able to make choices based on his values, not on the money. Because a person who doesn't have the money, a lot of times he needs to make the decisions not based on values, but because of the need of the money. But at the same time, mastering internal world is the key to success. So awareness, emotional mastery, mental mastery, all those things are much more important towards success, true success in life. And I think that we need to understand that in life strategy, we need to create not external goals, but internal goals as well. And I think that's most people missing that. Number 4 is design a life that balances tensions. And what is that? That's stability and adventure, long-term vision, short-term goals, solitude, community. There's a lot of things that we need to really balance. For example, when I think about stability and adventure and risk, I think that there's some aspects of life need to be stable, and some aspects could be massive adventures and massive risk. For example, in my life, I think that that's what's supposed to be stable is a relationship, and then when relationships are very stable and there's a core foundation, and that will be so much easier to go and really take risks, be adventurous in a business, in other areas of life. Now, if you are massively adventurous and your relations are unstable, there's massive risks. At that moment, every aspect of your life, be adventurous, is very, very hard. So it means balancing, understanding how to really understand, okay, what are what areas of my life is stable. So that means if there are some areas of my life is stable, I can move other areas into adventure and risk. Because I don't think that we able to be 100% stable or 100% adventurous. If everything is stable, that means mediocre life. And I don't think that there is anyone who actually wants mediocre life in every aspect of their lives. At the same time, with long-term vision or short-term goals. If you focus just on short-term goals, you'll never achieve your vision because we'll not look into how those short-term goals align with long-term vision. So it means that every single day we need to understand, okay, how this short-term goal is actually balancing with that long-term vision. And really say, okay, this is, if I will take this goal, this is how we'll really will be built up and all those things. So solid community as well. How much time do you spend by yourself on the phone and how much do you network, connect? Because it's very, very important. Both of them are very important because one is too small a number to achieve greatness. Number 5 is align your actions with long-term goal. And this is kind of part of a vision. So basically that understanding that your actions somehow need to align with that goal. So that means that when you say that, when you look into your schedule, you say, what kind of actions do you do during the day? What kind of activities do you do? And what those activities lead to? So that means if I keep doing this activity for the next 5 years, what did that lead to? Does that action lead to actually one of my goals, or it's just motion? Because I think that what we do a lot is we stuck in a motion that doesn't lead anywhere. Now, if you don't know anything and you don't have goals, don't have visions, better do something and it be in emotion than nothing. But when you really start have that vision, when you have that long-term goal, then we start asking again, is those activities that I do on a daily basis actually moving me closer to that goal, to that life strategy, to that freedom? Number 6 is build robust decision-making process or framework. I think that is so important. So many people do not succeed because they're just too slow in making decisions. They said, I wanted to leave my job. How long? 5 years. So that means if you actually had a decision making process, you're able to leave the job immediately when you decided, "Okay, I don't feel like this is a place for me to be in." So make a decision and move to somewhere else. And now we procrastinate because we don't have a decision making process. Because that is one of the best lessons, that when you do not make a decision, you making a decision. Because you make a decision not to make a decision. When you're not making a decision, you're making a decision not to make a decision. So that means we stay in one place much, much longer. But when we have a decision making process, a framework, at that moment we're able to really say, like, how will make this decision to really move myself forward, move myself in the place that I would love to be. Number 7 is cultivate adaptability. And I think this is very, very important, or anti-fragility. And that means that when we work, we want to really understand that we need to have options open, that keep doors open, keep available for understanding, for wisdom, for opportunities. Not close ourselves in a room and be saying, like, this is what I do for my rest of life, and I don't care about everything else, but be open. At the same time, we need to really ask, okay, what kind of skill do I have, and what kind of skill could really make me more valuable? So skill stacking makes you so much more adaptable, because you're able to say, like, I'm able to attack this goal with one aspect, or two aspects, three aspects, because now I have much more value in the market because I have stacking. And I highly recommend to really look into what kind of skills could be valuable on the skills that you already have, because you become so much more powerful. For example, being mathematician and a public speaker. So that means being able to really connect the dots, different kinds, totally different some of these skill sets, to really separate yourself from competition, and really having that mindset of experimentation, going out and trying new things to just to make sure that you really make things happen. Number 8, develop deep work or flow states. I think that's very, very important. And when you're really working deep work, and when you have that ability to move in that flow state, when you really, a flow state is when you are working on something and all the universe appears. Tanks will go by through you, and you will not be able to hear because you're so intensely in that work. I hope that everyone will experience that, because I love that. When you really get, I love working in a coffee shop. So I go in the coffee shop and start working, I open my laptop and working on things that's really important for me. 2 hours go by, and I start looking around. Oh, like, it's got dark in last 2 hours. And that's just amazing, because I think that if you've never done that, maybe it will take a while, but I think every single person is able to really develop that, maybe for 10 minutes, maybe for 15 minutes, maybe for 20 minutes. But because the flow state is a skill, it's a developed skill that means that you've never done that. Again, the research how to really get in that flow state, because when you have the block time, this is the only thing that you do in the next hour and a half. There's so much more that you can do. You can really do 3 hours work in 1 hour and a half. It's like maybe even double or triple your productivity when you actually get into the flow state. And you will be able to protect your productivity, protect your time for deep work, eliminate any distractions, just to make sure that you optimize your work. Number 9 is engineer your environment for success. Engineer your environment for success. And that's a lot of things. It's how your home, does it stimulates you, or does it attracts and drains you? How about your friends? How about your association? Does it drains your energy, or elevates you, encourages you, empowers you? There's all those things are very, very important. So physical environment, association, your thoughts. How do you manage your thoughts as well? This is one thing, that your environment is very, very important for success. And we need to really have a strategy how we develop association, how we network, how we clean our physical environment, really preparing our best when we wake up. Because I think that when you come back and really see that your table, your bed, your home is cleaned, and you're able to sit down and work, is much, much, much easier than when you see everything is cluttered. And it's something that work becomes cluttered as well. The last one that I want to mention, that is that when you think about life's strategy, is that define your legacy or mortality mindset. So it means that I love that thought that, okay, so when there's a last day on earth, when and you pass away, what you will love other people think of you, what you would like to other people say about you, I think that's when you think about that, it's much easier to really live a life in that way that people could remember the way how you would love to be remembered. I was thinking that when you have that in mind, that creates a strategy. How, if I would love to be remembered like this, what kind of things I need to do today to make sure to be that they actually say that? And I think that this is one of the things that why I'm doing my YouTube channel, not to be famous, but I want to really show that when someone makes commitment, it doesn't matter how maybe difficult it is sometimes to be consistent, but when someone is making commitment to really to achieve the best version of themselves, people are able to really do the right thing long enough until they actually achieve the results they're looking for. So that means that this is why I think one of the key aspects for understanding a mortality mindset, understanding what do you want other people to say about you when you're not there around. I think that this is very important topic, life strategy, because we need to really always say, okay, do I actually live my life based on a strategy? Do I have a life strategy in itself? Because when you have a strategy, when you have a plan in place, you just need to execute. Because it is that you execute much faster with a strategy. Because when you need every single day think what you need to do, you space so much time. But when you know that you reflected, you know exactly what you need to do, you go immediately execute. You save so much time, and that time saved could be used to really separate yourself from people who still do not have a life strategy. So I hope you reflect on that, and I hope you choose to win. And see you tomorrow.